Fellow traders, 'tis I, the Rumpled One, coming to you on Friday, May the 9th, the year's 2025. Let's talk trading. It's time for the weekly wrap-up. As always, these videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. And as the week closes, friendly reminder to always have risk management in place. Never lose more than you're willing to lose on any one single trade or during any one single session. So we take a look at the week. The dashboard shows us all those weekly open gaps have filled. Pounds 38 pips above the weekly open, 117 off the high and 73 off the low. We zoom out to the monthly, we're 35 pips, almost 36 below the monthly open, 117 off the high and 73 off the low. So you can see here, nothing changed the high and low for that first week. Even though we did have a couple of trading days last week. Notice we are in the open range for the week and the open range for the month. The open range for the week is just slightly lower than the open range for the month. But you can see that overlap. For the year, 778 pips above the yearly open, 155 off the high and 1,189 off the low. And we had that monthly open at 33.21. I believe we crisscrossed that one yesterday. 33.21 was right about there. Yeah, we crisscrossed it. We had an inside bar 2 days ago. We broke out of it to the downside yesterday, and we've crawled back inside that level. So 32.80, critical level here for inside bars. A handful of inside bars across the board here on the dashboard. Looking at the range, we've got 85 pips on the pound today, and it looks like the new beast is clocking in at 136 pips. That's the pound New Zealand dollar, leading in the range charge. I just noticed something on this range dashboard. I should probably, I'm thinking, I think I used to have this set up when I was doing some buy zone trading, because I've got high, open, low. I was thinking maybe I should have the range, the ATR percent. Might think about that. Change up that dashboard just slightly. Actually, no, this is the GPS. I can always just make another version of the dashboard. Or not dashboard, but just take this template and make a new template. Just change out a couple of columns. Let me know what you think. Since on the, we do look at ATR and ATR percent. The buy zone, back in the London session, it looks like there were some nice buy zone trades there, at least one crossing the daily and the weekly open there in the 40 level, which is the launch pad. See, we had the top of the hour here, and prices moving back up. We're in the red rat zone with triggers to short at 85 and 77. or that's the last level to get in. If you want to get some, if you're a red rat, you want to get some cheese. Bambino Flex indicator said to go short. The pivot trading plan said short near the pivot and short near R1. But doesn't look like that pivot trade would have paid off. And Bambino had you looking for the in the wrong direction also. So we've taken out the daily pivot. So no missed dailies so far this month. Weekly, we've taken out the weekly. Notice we took out a missed pivot from a couple of weeks ago. And we have not taken out the monthly yet. It looks like we should take out one of these two pivots. Not sure. We missed one. This was back in 2022. This pivot here, 38 months ago. And the wick zone, once again, price doesn't like staying in the wick zone. We're in that upper wick zone from yesterday's daily candle here. You know, earlier I took a few trades, and I was trading short, and it kept going against me, but I traded my way out of it. Then I left a bunch on the table. When it finally turned, it came back all the way down to the 85, but I had bailed out, I think somewhere around 91. So there was a few more pips to be had. And smart range, 190 pips so far. The 50 percentile over the last 12 weeks. We did not break out of the previous week's high, but we did break out of the previous week's low by 48. For you rats, high minus close right now on the weekly 108, close minus low 83. So rats were paid. And you weekly open crossover traders, high minus open 155 and open minus low 35. So you too were paid if you traded those horizontal lines. And the simple price action chart, you can see we're going back up near the high of the day. So rats, get ready for a short signal. Something to note here, this 85 level was the daily open. It was also the H4 open, this H4 candle. It's kind of a slow day, but still respectable ranges here on M30. In fact, there was a trader, maybe you're listening today, you said something about H1 or using different candles, but that was from a video from 8 years ago. It's kind of interesting to revisit some of those old videos, but no, I've moved to, I'm using M30 now. Simple reason, if you see here, we had this retrace, and I ran some statistics, and I was looking at coverage, meaning does the previous or the current candle high low, is the high above the body of the previous M30, and is the low below the bottom of the body here. So the open and close. So we get more coverage on M30 than any other time frame. Has a higher percentile or higher percentage of covering that candle. So you can see here, if you were long, all of a sudden you get the M30 going against you, going against the H1. It just seemed like it was smarter to start using M30. It was funny because I never liked M30. I just thought it was like, who came up with M30? But it also worked better in the stock market because I didn't like it in the stock market either. But since the stock market is open for what, 6.5 hours a day, or it's not an even, so you always had that one bastard candle. So that was only 30 minutes. So it was smarter to have just to use the M30 candles. And here, looking at the 3-ball, okay, we just had a higher low trigger to the south side. That would have been a nice trade to get in. In fact, maybe I should get in that trade here. And see what happens. Let's take a quick look at the just a simple chart here showing my one of my new multimeters, the how many times it, or how many candles back before you're in a wick zone. And looks like price is in this previous range area here. Speaking of range by month, 190 so far in May. Let's look at the year-to-date accumulated. We haven't pushed the boundaries. We knew that, but I like to show it on the dashboard, especially for those tuning in for the first time. And let's see. Let's take a look at the ATR percent. We're only at 43. Not bad after a week. Now let's see. And where are we for the year? We're up 6.2% from the yearly open. Not bad. Quick look here, monthly, the trade reminder, lower high, higher low, inside bar. We want to fade the pivot on the sell. On the weekly, we have a lower high, lower low. Sellers are in weak control at the moment. Quickly here on the daily, lower high, lower low. We crossed above the pivot, and we're inside that upper wick zone. So, fellow traders, fastest 15 minutes of trading is just about over. I'm going to wish you a fun and safe weekend. Hope you had a profitable week and month so far, and year so far for that matter. And I want you to always remember and never forget, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.